This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club.
This next guest, you'd be very, very thankful because he's a very, very good-looking man. I speak of Sam Lloyd from the Richmond Footy Club. Welcome to Future Stars, mate. It's an exciting time to be at the Richmond Footy Club.
Yeah, it is. We've still got another home and away game to go, but at the moment, after the last few weeks, the place is really up and about.
Last night, didn't start the game that well, but thought it was a mature performance as we see some of the highlights against the Bombers. This man, Vickery's been very good, but a mature performance after they jumped you early in the wet. Yeah,
I don't think we've played in wet conditions for a long time now, so it was good. It was good to come back. I think they pegged a couple early. I think they kicked 5 straight and we missed a few, so yeah, it was good. It was a really mature performance. We got our contested ball numbers up and finished the game well, which was pleasing.
Do you get frustrated at all with the subs vest? Look, you handle it well and you play it well, but you handle it well when you start on the ground as well. Would you like to see the end of it?
Oh, actually, me and Alex were just talking about that out there. The sub vest is an interesting one, and as Dimmer said last night, someone has to be the sub, and you know a lot of players are playing good footy down at the club, and it's sort of that hard position where someone's got to be it. And Leno played it last week; he played it really well, and it was just my turn last night, and it's you got to get on and have an impact.
You do handle it well either way. So.
Yeah, well, you are an impact player when you come on. I mean, you'd love to start the game every week, but every time you come on, as we see some of your highlights here, you have an impact, you kick important goals, and you're very clean. I think Richmond supporters I've spoken to, they love having you there because for probably the last, since I left, they probably haven't had a really good goal-kicking half forward.
I don't know what Shane Evans would say about that.
He's more of a midfielder.
Yeah, he's actually very electric in the midfield, but yeah, it's a tough one, but with going into finals now and another week to go, if I'm sub, I'm sub. If I'm not, I'm not. I just want to be a part of it.
Jake King wasn't a bad half forward either. You might bash me if I don't mention him.
Well, we'll talk about your journey in a second, but what was it like to finally get the jumper presented to you, your first Richmond jumper?
Yeah, very special moment to have Kevin Bartlett down there, the club legend, mum and dad and the family down there, and everyone at home in Denny watching. It was a pretty special moment, and I think I played again on Alex over here, so yeah, it was good. It was really special, and hopefully there's a few more games to come.
How was KB?
Yeah, he can talk. But he was good. He was really. He talked about his spot at forward pocket, told me not to handball, which I've taken on board. And yeah, he's really good.
Now, Sammy, we'll pick up your journey. You mentioned Denny there, so your boy from up in the Denny area, but you're down at Geelong Grammar on the Falcons list in 2008, but didn't play. Tell us about your little experience there for a start.
Yeah, no, I was going to boarding at Geelong Grammar at that stage, and I got on the Falcons list, and unfortunately got a bit of an injury, and there was a bit of a time where they sort of were not really playing, or not really keen on playing the borders at the time, so I think I got to about round 1 after a pre-season and hurt my ankle, which put me out, and it sort of put me out for about 12 weeks, and as you know, the season's not very long, so didn't get a chance there.
So back to Denny, where you become a legend. Leap and Leo Barry have been the legend of Denny until you popped in. 100 goals in a season, a best and fairest premiership. Tell us about your time at Denny.
Oh, yeah, I was pretty keen to get back to Denny after school, and after suffering a pretty disappointing injury in my Year 12 year at the Falcons there, I was keen to come home and play some football with my mates, and the Denny Rams down there is an excellent club. They're really well balanced and got really good people around them. So yeah, it's good to get home, and I ended up hanging around for I think 3 or 4 years, and fortunate enough to win a flag with a lot of good friends there. So it was good.
Well, then when you come on my radar was when you went to Mount Eliza. I had people sort of talking to me about this bloke. He's just kicking goals left, right, and centre there. How did that work out?
Yeah, I was travelling back to Denny for the last couple of years there because I was going to uni down in Melbourne here, and I went to uni with a guy called Jack Egan, and he was playing down there. He was a mate of mine, and I thought we'd won a flag at home. I was a bit sick of the travel, and that was just the next step on the list.
Sam, you were at Frankston before you got drafted.
Yeah.
You must have done a fair bit right there. What were some of your goals going into that year, and what did you do? Why did you get drafted? Why did Richmond want you?
Yeah, I ended up towards my end of the Mount Eliza year. Had a chat to Essendon and played a few games with the affiliated team for them, the VFL affiliated team, which was Bendigo Bombers at the time. And they just said, have a year in the VFL and we'll see how you go. So that took me down to Frankston under Simon Goosey down there. And I think the main goal was just to play a full season of VFL and just show what I was capable of, and then I was fortunate enough to be picked up by the Tigers, I think, for the goal-kicking reasons.
Was there a moment where they really spoke to you? You kicked 4 in that rep game. You played for the VFL against WA, kicked the 4 goals. Did the Tigers start to move in?
Not that I was aware of. I sort of started to get a bit of hope after that VFL rep game, and then got invited to draft camp, so I thought, oh, might be a chance here. And my manager at the time said that he'd spoken to the Tigers and they were showing some interest, but to get picked up in the draft was very special.
I love players who know how to get the job done. I'd love to know out of you two, Sam and the current players, who looks at themselves more on the scoreboard after you've kicked the goal? Do you reckon it's you or Faz?
It's got to be him, doesn't it?
I've been known to.
I'll call it draw.
Look up there.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
It's going to be an unbelievable lead into the finals. You play Friday night against the Kangaroos, and you read last week that Richmond have taken over Collingwood as the biggest club in the competition. I'm not sure how they measure that, but certainly when I was there, it's a massive club. I didn't play finals there. I can't imagine how big this build-up's going to be.
Yeah, we sort of got a bit of a taste of it last year when we went over to Adelaide. Obviously, it was a disappointing game, but I was emergency at the time in there, and the amount of supporters and fans that came over to Adelaide, you would have thought we were in Melbourne, in Richmond, in Melbourne. It was pretty special, and obviously we got this week against North Melbourne, which we'll focus on quite heavily, and then we'll start thinking about finals then, I think, but it's definitely going to be a big lead up.
It's a club that's brought in players like yourself, young Miles as well, Caden McIntosh, who's played most games this year, so there's been players that come from all over the place. It hasn't been your usual drafting process, and it's a real win for the drafting process of the Richmond Footy Club.
Yeah, I think credit to Blair Hartley and the recruiting down there, but they've given myself and players like Milesy a chance, and Camden as well, who's played a full year this year, hasn't missed a game, so players like us very fortunate to be a part of it, and yeah.
And just before we let you go, there's been a few tweets come in. How long does it take you to get your hair up like that? It's a centimetre perfect at the moment, isn't it?
Actually, I've never had my makeup or anything done like that, so I don't want to really tell too many people about that. I've got a bit at home from Denny.
No, you've been fantastic, mate. We're looking forward to you playing finals football. Sam Lloyd from the Richmond Football Club. Have a great time.
Thanks for having me.
A very good player, very good young player who's going to do really good things in the finals for the Tigers. Up next.